Gilmore Girls is a comedy drama series about a single 32-year-old mother and her 16-year-old daughter living in the spirited town of Stars Hollow, Connecticut. On the show, we meet a variety of colorful characters, watch as our protagonists experience life and love, and as an audience member become immersed in the idea of small-town living. Rory Gilmore, teenage daughter of Lorelai Gilmore, is seen in this small town as an angel. She's a straight-edge, academically gifted, and driven individual who would seemingly never do anything wrong. Now that we have some background in the concept of Gilmore Girls and a bit of a character description of our leading lady Rory Gilmore, let's take a look into Rory's ever-changing love life and see why Jess Mariano takes the cake for being Rory's best boyfriend. Battle of the Boyfriends! Kicking it off with Rory's first I love you.
Because I love you, you idiot!
We have Dean Forrester. Although Dean was theoretically a great first boyfriend for Rory, his stereotypical boy-next-door attitude coincided with what Mashable.com calls a standard small-town mentality. Dean was extremely possessive, never bonded with Rory's academic side, and made her feel guilty for aspiring to go to Harvard, proposing a breakup after she submitted her application. While Dean would make a great stay-at-home dad, having made it very apparent that he loves the standard atomic family, wife cooks dinner every night lifestyle, it just doesn't match Rory's driven and adventure-seeking side that lies behind her timid demeanor. Ultimately, Dean was too controlling, and although unrelated to the argument at hand, wins the title of Rory Gilmore's worst boyfriend.
You jump, I jump, Jack.
In omnia paratus.
Next, we have Logan Huntsberger, entitled rich boy from a well-renowned family. While Logan seemingly brings out the adventure side in Rory, immersing her in the upper-class world of secret societies and random excursions, it is all for the worse. Not only does he support her in dropping out of Yale, but he also joins her in committing a felony, which is completely out of character for Rory. While Rory was clearly in emotional distress, having dropped out of school, quitting journalism, cutting contact with her mother, and living under the roof of her toxic grandparents, Logan ignored her cries for help and continued to feed into the idea that she should just disregard all of her goals. In addition, after one disagreement, he cheated on Rory with the entirety of his sister's bridal party. Rory, having no one to turn to, continued the relationship with Logan anyway. In the end, Rory and Logan mend things and continue to have a fairly, what psychologists deem, healthy relationship.
Does it have to be all or nothing?
Yeah, it does.
However, their goals didn't align. While Logan ultimately proposes to Rory at the end of the series, she declines, realizing that she'd have to choose Logan over her career. Finally, one must recognize that Logan gave Rory an ultimatum. She didn't initially say no. She asked him to wait for her career to start before marriage so that they could both achieve their goals. If he was truly in love with her according to Mashable.com, then he would have been willing to wait. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, Jess Mariano. Jess was the new bad boy in town. However, he had a soft spot for Rory. They bonded over their love of books and music and supported each other even when they weren't together. Jess gave Rory her space, as well as showed his support for her aspirations. For example, rather than getting upset that she was going away to college like Dean did, he Googled how far Yale was from Stars Hollow and told her about how the trip wasn't even that bad. While Jess was emotionally unstable as a teen, unaware of how his actions may affect Rory, he grew up to change not for, but because of her. He went from flunking out of high school and leaving home to publishing his own book and starting a company. While their relationship took a hiatus, when he felt he was ready to be there for Rory again after the split, he came to visit.
Better than anyone. This isn't you.
I don't know.
What are you doing? Living at your grandparents' place? Being in the DAR? No, Yale. Why did you drop out of Yale?
It's complicated.
In this
It's
clip,
not,
Rory
isn't
is
it?
experiencing the crisis discussed earlier. She had fallen through the cracks, and although she was dating Logan and should have theoretically had his support at the time, needed this wake-up call from Jess to re-enroll in Yale, quit the stale job she picked up, reconnect with her mom, and get her life back on track. While Jess and Rory don't end up back together in the original series, it is apparent that the relationship between Jess and Rory is one that fosters individual as well as mutual growth, which psychologists from Match.com say is the foundation of a healthy love.
I love you.
Ultimately making Jess Mariano Rory Gilmore's best boyfriend.